What a great way to start a video. A whole pile of M&Ms. Okay, this is a great genetic drift activity to do. It really illustrates the point, and I would highly recommend that you do it yourself at home, whether you have M&Ms or not. You just need to draw some circles. You also need a dice and some way of colouring in some circles, whether it's with some felt pens or bits of coloured paper, ideally with candy, but anyway, anything you've got. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw 6 circles with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 on there, which are going to relate to the numbers on the dice, 1 through 6. And the dice is showing the randomness of what happens with genetic drift. And the colours, we just haven't got quite a small population. We've just got one of the yellow allele, one of the orange, red, blue, green and brown, and they're representing our different types of individuals, our variation of the population, but the numbers are really small, so there's only one of each, so things change quite quickly. And what you're going to do, this is generation 1, we've got one of each, and then you're going to draw generation 2 with empty circles. You don't know which of generation 1 are going to breed or not yet, and the dice will tell you which are. So here we go. So we're going to roll with the dice. We get number 1. Now 1 is yellow, which means that yellow is going to manage to breed and produce offspring. So we put a yellow 1 there. And then, we roll the dice again. This time we get 4, so we get a blue 1. So the blue 1 managed to breed, and there's some blue offspring. Number 5, which is greens, managed to breed. And then number 3, which is red. Number 1 again, managed to breed, and then we roll once more and we get a 5 again, which is a green. So we can see in our second generation we've already got twice as many yellow and green alleles, and we've lost the blue and red, brown and red. So just due to chance and the ability to not breed for whatever reason, we've now already got that difference. And so you're going to do a third generation, and this time this is your starting population, so that's all the alleles you have to choose from. Our red and our brown alleles are already gone from the equation. We can't use them, they're no longer in our population, and you just do the same thing. So this time you roll it, and number 4 now is red, so that one gets to breed. Number 2 is now blue, so we get blue in the population. We get another blue, and we get another blue. So remember, we're now, the dice is just showing chance, and we're now using these as our numbers, not the original ones. So you have to use just the generation before. That's how inheritance works. And 1 in the previous generation was yellow, so we get a yellow. And one more. 3 in this generation was green. So this is our population for number 3. Okay, and now we're going to do it again. And this time we can only use this generation here, the generation just before us. So this is our current population. They're all gone before. And we're going to roll again. And we're going to get a 3, which is blue. And a 6, which is green. Oh, sorry, I'll put them like that. And a 2, which is blue. And an 2, which is blue again. And a 3, which is blue. And another 3, which is blue. And so you can see how quite quickly, this is only our 4th generation, we've now got a population that's nearly all blue with 1 green, and probably in the next generation you end up with all being blue. Once you've got all of one colour, that means that allele is fixed in the population. It means that that's the only kind of thing that can be inherited. You won't get any other kinds of alleles, and any that are not in the population. So here, if we get to generation 4, we've lost all the other colours apart from, just get rid of them. So now we've lost, the lost alleles are all the ones that aren't there now. So we've lost red, we've lost yellow, we've lost brown and orange. So those alleles will have been lost, and things get lost when there's small numbers. It's easy for them to be lost from the gene pool, and it's easy for things to get fixed in the gene pool. So it's really, with small populations, genetic drift has big effects on them quite quickly. But if you had lots and lots and lots of different lots of numbers for each of them, that effect is much less, because there's a buffer. There's lots of the oranges and lots of the reds and lots of the browns, and so any effects of drift or selection take longer to occur in populations. Okay, you're doing very well. The last part of this is just to sum up those different things that affect gene pools. And so here we go, we're back to our colours. We've got a gene pool. We've got an allele frequency of 2 out of 6 are green, 3 out of 6 are yellow, and 1 out of 6 is red. Things that can affect our gene pools are the things that will increase variation is mutations. So if we get born something that is of a different type, we might have a new mutation introduced that's increased the variety in our gene pool. We could also have immigration happening, so something could come into the population that's going to change our allele frequencies. If it was, say, slightly different, as well as increasing allele frequencies, it would bring in a new kind of allele, so it could be a different kind as well as changing the numbers. Immigration. Things that decrease the variation in the gene pool are immigration. So say our red one might just go and end up living somewhere else. That's going to decrease the variation in this gene pool. Things that also decrease variation, and people get a bit stuck on this one, is natural selection, because natural selection, like non-random mating or sexual selection, is picking individuals based on characteristics. So it might be that the yellow characteristic is a great one to have, and so those ones end up surviving and producing offspring, so we get more yellow ones in the population. So that is decreasing variation because it's selecting a certain phenotype, and it may be that this phenotype is not selected, or those mates are not chosen to make offspring, so that's then going to decrease in the population. Sorry about the squeaking, that's my dog wanting to go out. So nearly finished. That's probably the most things. The things that decrease variation are natural selection, sexual selection, or what's called non-random mating, so certain individuals are chosen based on phenotypes, immigrating, leaving the population, and genetic drift also decreases variation because it will make the numbers smaller, and it will sort of remove some individuals, so it also tends to decrease variation of populations. And that is the end of population genetics.